Motherfucking ultimate showgirl is on the floor.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, and 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear Queen? All right, I had to have a little music in the background, y'all. I'm just waking up too, so y'all bear with me. Bear with me. The older folks. Well, good morning, y'all. And I gotta make sure I turn it down, so you all can hear me. But when the motherfucking ultimate showgirl shows up to show out. Oh my head, heavy motherfucking hell. Heavy motherfucking hell. Hello, Miss Mildred Benjamin. Good to see you. I'm well and you. I got to talk to these two men for a brief moment. And the men on the stage. To your left, or right, Kwame Brown. To your right, Mr. Gilbert Arenas. You all may know them. Again, I was in D.C., Maryland, when these two played for the Wizards. Kwame Brown was from Georgia. So that was my initial attachment. I only knew Georgia. I didn't know anything about South Carolina, Georgia. He said that's where his mom was from. And he said that's where he was from, Brunswick, Georgia. Mr. Gilbert Arenas came along, and then I started hearing his name over the, what y'all call it, when the announcers. Now, I didn't go to any of these games. I couldn't afford it. But to watch these two young black lions be the face of D.C., Maryland, NBA basketball was intriguing. Michael Jordan coming back did nothing for Queen. He was too old, and I understood that. And I'm understanding even Serena came out of retirement. Comedians, actors, athletes, now that we know, when they retire, they miss the click likes, whether they was good or bad. Lights, camera, action. the entertainers. And as I explained to two gentlemen my generation, Mr. Leonard and Mr. Nate, I am 60 years old. Athletes were not considered entertainers. They were athletes. They were not celebrities and they didn't behave as such. They basically behaved like Bud Crawford, that boxer. That's why I gravitated to him. And he was still arrested, leaving his celebration after his great win in his hometown. And shortly after that, he retired. I don't know the adrenaline, the high athletes get. And then you give them some money. So I'm going to ramble and veer off and on. That's how I do. I didn't, I ain't got nothing scripted or prepared. Drink me some water. I listened to Carlo DeMille, Uncle O. He changes the name, y'all. Or this the 2026 name change from Uncle O on Facebook, y'all. Well, he gonna bring his channel Uncle O to, he gonna change the name of this. And there were some statements made, and I'm here to clear up because maybe these men don't quite know. Nobody, and I mean nobody, speaks for Queen. Do you hear me? No one. I'm alive and well, kicking with a little memory issues, but no, not for this shit right here. Okay? So, come on, let's swap. The quarter lab thing irked me. And I've had time to process it. And they say, Queen, don't go ham, because they don't quite know your story. So you tell them the story. Mr. Arenas, I wasn't in on the quarter lab decision. I was just there after the plan was implemented. If you get a strike by mistake, contact Queen and we'll take care of it. That's all I remember. I didn't know what this was, but I understood from a business position. From a business position. So let me tell my little piece as I can remember. And I got my headset on, y'all, and I'm gonna move around today. Do my little makeup with you, and then I may, I'm gonna have to change audio. So let me get the book of the damn story out before all of that. I was able to start in less than 2 minutes today. Shit, I got on Bluetooth headset. All right, let's go. All right. And I'm going, y'all know I mention names because we all grown. And I am not writing a fictional story. I'm writing my story from my experience. Okay? Skinny the Dawn is a part of this story. Most men are part of this story. During the lockdown, COVID, there was a mandatory lockdown. Everybody, rich, poor, in between, athlete, celebrity, no celebrity, just getting out of jail, whoever you was, we was placed on the chessboard. We was placed on the chessboard. From different walks of life. I am 60. These two on the screens are in their 40s. And I believe when I met Kwame, if I'm not mistaken, he was still in his 30s. Could have been 40. I think he was in his 30s, y'all. I don't know. I can only keep up with my shit now, okay? I don't even know how old my own kids are. All right? Okay, so I'm just, we're on the same chessboard. I can only be me. Being me set me free. When I was 16 years old in the military. That's where I was. Okay. Making a way out of no way. Out of no way. So we are all on the chessboard. Felons, non-felons, criminals, non-criminals, military, non-military, athletes, non-athletes, entertainers, all of this. We are all on the chessboard. I came to the stage knowing right from wrong. I was taught by my grandmothers. By the time I was born, my grandfather on my mother's side was not living. And my grandfather on my father's side, he never knew who his father was. So this wasn't a strange thing. There was no father in the home. Black women from the South been living without fathers in their home. home since our arrival. And so when I hear black men talk as if this is new and this is what has caused the dilemma in the black community, hell to the motherfucking no. I've lived to understand a piece of the problem. And it damn sure ain't got shit to do with fathers being in up out of the home. Come on with me. Come on with me. So this red pill manosphere thing, this ego on steroids. You know, I understood men of a certain height had what that syndrome called Napoleon syndrome. I knew this group of men had oversized egos. My son is 6'7". And throughout high school, middle school, high school, he was, tall. And the folks who challenged him was these men with, short. And for him not to keep getting suspended, because the instinct of the lion, I had to teach him about the short man complex, the Napoleon complex. I didn't have formal teaching of this. I had experiences. The captains, the majors, the colonels that was 5 foot in the military was so fucking loud and obnoxious. I never looked their fucking way. I didn't give a damn how much money you was making. You're too motherfucking loud. And I don't like short men. And I'm saying I don't like them to date them. I'm saying I got something against men who are 5 foot. I have something against men who are 5 foot and talk too goddamn much and too goddamn loud. And they have oversized egos. So that is how I knew there was a divide, because my son didn't bully them. They attempted to group up and bully him because of his height. So we had to negotiate around his people's ignorance. Because it sounded like there was no mothers in the home of some of these big men talking to explain this phenomenon. You can never be 5 foot. You're standing at 6'7". And this is my son. I speak up. And what that man issued with you, son, he can never be 6'7". What must it feel like to enter your 40s, 50s, 60s, and 5 feet tall? Came below. I don't know. I don't know. But I taught my son not to fight him. This is an ego thing. So they want to be tall, and yet they see themselves so small. So that's the man thing, the ego thing. My preference for dating is a tall man. Period. Okay? Okay? And I'm swerving, y'all, trying to get to the point. But what I started to notice about my son, briefly, because when I seen it, I checked it. There would be no gang membership here because a short man in stature wants my son. No, we ain't doing that. He wants to bully his ego. Short drug dealers, all of these men in these professions, legal and illegal, medium-sized men are a problem. Okay? Across the globe. That's why we in the war that we're in now. Have y'all seen how tall Bibi Netanyahu is? He's one of these men of short stature. Speak up. The Prime Minister of Israel. Most of them J people are very little men in stature. The president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is about the finest one I've ever seen. Tall, nice-looking man. That is not the average J. Do you hear me? And it's clear he's mixed with something. Jared Kushner. Queen. There's some nigga in you, nigga. Come on with me now, y'all. So we have to stop looking at folks, and we have to stop listening to who they say they are. Just let them, their life tell you who they are. And if they have these complex issues they can never change. All this I'm hearing now about stretching some bones and no, ain't no man getting ready to go under surgery to get height. That's a height and a lie. Just like them implants for your penis. When it's gone, it's gone. When it's dead, it's dead. When it's small, it's small. Whatever you are not the Titanic. Oh, you are the Titanic. You're going to sink. Trying to change your flaws. And black women did it, the ones that got those BBLs. Black, beautiful women. The one main thing we always have, no bounce to the motherfucking house. So this changing of beauty or wanting to be tall because you're small in height. I understood. I left home at 16 that these men would be problems. Now, my son's father, tall man, 3'5", and every descendant of the males were taller than the fathers. My daughter's father's average, double retired, Master Sergeant Major. The highest non-commissioned officer position in the military. He had maxed out in his non-commissioned officer rank. The only person higher than him was a sergeant major of the army. Both of them, my daughter's father might have been 30 years older than me. I know my son's father was 20 years older than me. An average man with money, not rich, with honor. 82nd Airborne, Vietnam veteran. My son's father had been in the Marines. So these men's egos were balanced. Balanced. I never dated athletes, and I still don't today. And when we was talking the other night on Sid's panel, Nate and Leonard, and Nate didn't remember Shaka Khan, and she came from his school. So I said, no, Nate, I remember my classmates, from high school, especially, the ones that, had made it to the big leagues. And as an athlete, track, preacher, doctor, lawyer, singer. We have this real popular singer from our hometown, a gospel singer. Last name is Crawford. Then we have Vernon Maxwell. I personally know Vernon Maxwell from high school. The NBA would call him Mad Max. And Vernon went into the NBA. When Vernon went into the NBA, I went into the military. I know he went to college. I went into the military because Vernon went to the University of Florida, played college ball. And when I came back from Germany the first time, I'm not sure when that issue at the University of Florida happened, but it had happened and it split the city. But I knew Vernon. And Vernon, his whole family, humble. Mama up to hell. Vernon, I don't know, his NBA team members may know a different Vernon, but he always remained humble to me. And like I say, basketball players, and Vernon was a small, tall, and I'm talking about his physical weight. But Vernon, shit, he wasn't backing down. He played his role. And he always maintained a sense of heritage. Gainesville, Florida, from the projects. Meeting a young girl from the suburbs with both a father and a mother. opened her house to all our friends. Vernon was my friend, one of my best friends. Vernon Maxwell, James Brown, and Regina Bryant. I knew Vernon. I didn't know James, and James didn't know Vernon, and we all met because we was bused to this school out in the country. Uh, these country boys got damn wow. Hey, mom, boss, man, shit. They look like Kello, y'all. Big, solid, country boys. Vernon from the projects in what it was at Sugar Hill, and I'm from the suburbs, Duval. Here we are, the three of us. One from the country, one from the projects, one from the suburbs. 2 men and 1 woman. We formed a healthy friendship. Neither of these men were attracted to me in that way. We were like sisters and brothers. Vernon Maxwell, y'all. James Brown. So I just wanted to swerve into that because when Nate said he didn't know who Shaka Khan was, and Shaka Khan is on a level, I mean, by her name, maybe he knew who she was. Maybe not Michelle Strophe. He was just, y'all go back and watch it. I don't know, but anyway. And now we see Vernon on Showtime. He's on Showtime, but he's on All the Smoke with a lot of guest appearances. He may be a part of the couch now. And the issues at the University of Florida have been resolved, and he's back in the history books of the University of Florida. So this dilemma with basketball players have fallen on all Black athletes. I saw firsthand what Vernon went through. Vernon always kept that smile. Now, when y'all call him Mad Max, see that ego and that athlete, I didn't see that. He was a great. Vernon played football and basketball, y'all, and he was excellent at both. He could have went to the NFL easily, and the NBA. So even from the draft and him coming from the University of Florida, he was already a target. The hood, we love Vernon. The suburbs love Vernon. In the country, we loved Vernon. We rooted for him. And you all can go to the newspapers because I don't quite know what happened because I was in Europe. And there was a time Vernon didn't come home. His brother Greg was always there. His sister Veronica. And now, she's in my pictures at my 50th birthday. These people never changed, the Maxwells. Never changed. Okay, So yeah, that's that. But he's with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson now doing he's podcasting. I've seen him on Gilbert's show too. This was some years back when Gilbert first started. And I know Vernon. And Vernon knows me. He knows my father's name, Bryant. And he'll get to Regina once you toggle his memory a little. Not much. The Bryants. We had parties, the best parties at my mom's house. Ain't that right, Vernon? The acceptance my mother and father made, everybody from all walks of life felt. And mama, for you to be in my mama's house and she feed you had to come from good soil. Good soil. And my mother wasn't friends with the mothers of these James. Mama knew them. They knew each other had heard of each other, the women. We were from different walks of lives, but there was a mutual respect. And mama and daddy opening up a house to children of all walks of lives changed some folks' lives. They saw a mother and father in the house. They exchanged. So my relationship was never intimate or sexual with my two best friends, male friends, Vernon and James Brown. And we thought Vernon would be to our 50th birthday party because James and I shared our 50th birthday party together in Gainesville, Florida. And Vernon's always been that way. He doesn't want to take away if his presence will shift from the birthday boy and girl, his two best friends, to him. And so I had asked James, I said, James, have you talked to Vernon? Because James, you know, I was in the military. They still friends today, kept in touch. The traveling, James go to the games, all that stuff. And he explained to me he may or he may not. He just don't want to be the center of attention during our birthday. And that's Vernon, y'all. That's Vernon. So Greg, I know Veronica was there. I got to find out Greg's status. Even though I seen Greg off and on throughout years when I came home, and Greg, even with Vernon in the NBA, if I came home from the military, these folks came to say hello. And Ronnie, Veronica, he does have a little baby sister too. And I didn't know her that well, but I know he has, I can't think of her name. She's on my Facebook. Ronnie was, and my sister, Veronica and my sister, they still close today. They go on trips and stuff. They went to Jamaica and all that stuff. Veronica never changed. She was still Ronnie. Mhm. So these two men were crashing into. I don't go to any games. I hear it over the TV. the energy. I really rooted for both of them, cheered for both of them. Then Kwame left DC. Gilbert Arenas. He was the face of it in DC. He was. You can see him right there. And then, the media threw in its little twists and turns. But for this man to be playing, and no, the Wizards never really won nothing, that I know of. Because, these two came to the Wizards to resurrect it. Resurrect it. And I never will forget the locker room incident. That is what made the man. The man. All I knew from a woman's point of view, a mother's point of view, how I felt. Listening to his story, he can give context to it. That he was looking out. And he took the charge like a man, standing on man business. And I never really knew this until the internet. So let me get back to Quarter Lab, y'all. I just want to give you a brief overlay. So we are all on the internet during COVID, isolated. And we're dumped into or onto the chessboard. And I think some of these athletes have been amazed by everyday people's story. It's not the story they saw when they was growing up. And it's almost like after they got money, they wanted to shift the narrative away from their foundation, what built them. I did not have a perfect life. Vernon Maxwell did not have a perfect life. And James Brown did not have a perfect life. And James is another one who had a mother and father in the home. But he was from the country. He lived, oh my God, a couple of steps from my high school. So, the parties and all of that stuff. Oh, we party. And the reason why I didn't date athletes, my best friend was an athlete, never hit on me. And I was never attracted to him that way. He was like my brother. We were the same age. But to have a bond with a man, young boy, and we knew he was going to the NBA or the NFL. Vernon never changed, not with me or James, his interactions. Of course, he had his antennas probably up by now, because you're still going to have that element of group of people who want something for nothing. James and I wanted nothing monetarily from Vernon. We respected each other's survival story. James is now retired security officer from the University of Florida. Married, grandfather to a wife, was my best friend, Gloria, working at the VA phone system, teleoperator, you know what I'm saying? Humble! Veronica, like I said, she was at my 50. Her and my sister still traveled. She traveled to New Jersey to see us still today. Money and not having money didn't change the folks from Gainesville, Florida. So coming to YouTube, I was already here, but not here. Like I said, I strictly use YouTube for DIY, do it yourself. I was on Facebook with family and friends. I understood social media. Social media helped me create an event for my bloodline. I use Facebook as a way to communicate with my family during our 2014 family reunion that I was sponsoring. I'm not no rich woman, but my grandmother had 20 children. 14 survived from cradle to grave. Mae West died from drinking lye. That was another one. He died not at birth, but after he was born. He jumped out of my grandmother's arms, hit his head, and didn't survive. So that's 2. And some died, at birth or whatever. But anyway, it was 14, 7 boys and 7 girls. And my mother was one of the 14. Who almost died herself if it had not been for my Aunt Alberta. Because my mother and my uncles had to cook. And they, had their chores. And not only is the the original kids are there. Some of them had babies from very tragic moments. The babies was there. Some of them was married. The wives was there. The kids. No one can make it separate financially. So babysitters, no, that was gonna be something out by the home to watch these children in Georgia when you had to go to work. And Ma still stayed in the country. So if you got dropped off, you stayed until your parents was off. Always in a safe place. They're with Ma, my grandmama. Uncles, aunts in the house. There's gonna be an adult in the house. You ain't gonna get away with shit in the house. Okay? And anybody you bring there, well, Ma knew everybody and everybody knew Ma. They gravitated to her house just like they gravitated to my mother's house. And if Mama fed us, she fed them. You know, I used to see people who could eat in front of people and not even offer them anything. Clearly see they hungry. If I can't feed you, I won't eat in front of you. That's just my upbringing. Because that was the foundation of my bloodline, feeding folks. Whether you're hungry or not. And my mother, Southern food was like Southern cuisine. All our friends loved our mama and daddy. They didn't see daddy much, but they seen mama because mama had to, size you up when you came across a threshold. Okay? And like I said, we would have parties. Mama even let us have a sleepover of our friends after a big party. Yeah, we had t-shirts and all that stuff, y'all. Anyway, we had adult supervision at all times. At all times. So I just assumed people that I crashed into had similar small beginnings. Very small beginnings. Money did not change Vernon. James and I never pulled on him and tugged on him because he was in the NBA. Matter of fact, being with us was a relief. Y'all been acting imposturing or whatever they call it. I thought people who work in corporate America, with imposter syndrome. These black men who come from shit get their little teeth fixed up. So the reason why I didn't date athletes is I also had other friends, gay friends, men, openly, gay. And I hung out with them too, Hey, they can read, but they couldn't read and they didn't try to read. Oh, yeah. Here's that motherfucker here. Matter of fact, we were allies. We are the ones that taught all these. Okay. Shit. So you can't read, Queen. Not no real man. Okay. But they was, some of my best friends also. Tyrone, he's now dead. He was at my 50th birthday party. And I also threw him a house party. He was a track star at the University of Florida. Oh, we had some good genes coming out of Gainesville, Florida. You hear me? But when those genes got mixed up, because Tyrone came from a family, he stayed with his grandmama. His mama was in and out, and he didn't know his daddy, but his grandmother was well affluent. So, with some of his attachment was for things and money. And Ty at the time being in the closet because there was a period, but Ty was so flamboyant he couldn't stay in the closet. But this is the way, other than that other way, he tampered men down, and he kept their secrets. He wasn't one to kiss a motherfucking dead, not even his friend Regina. So, but what he would say to make it clear with me, because he didn't like to see any of his women friend hurt. He would say, that ain't, you don't want to date him. And I would say, well, but he's fine. He said, yeah, he's fine to me too. But I done sucked him a couple of times. And he sucked me. The time, he didn't, like I said, he could read your motherfucking ass. And he didn't have no cut card. But he didn't use it as a weapon. Nobody bullied him, beat him up because they wanted to be sucked off again. They loved their relationship with Ty. Ty didn't kiss and tell. But he would, in his own little way, alert his female friends to stay away. Ty taught me that before I even went in the military. I had friends from all walks of life that taught me from their point of view. You can choose a pathway to success. Your foundation, when it's solid, and I mean solid, will bring you before kings and queens. My foundation was solid. It brought me to a private dinner at Union Station, a 10,000 plate dinner with Senator Barack Obama. 3 or 4 blacks in there. We came to the rope line, the handshake line, and I looked up at this tall specimen. Now we'll forget it. All I could say is I love you, President Obama. And I called him president. I knew the man was going to make it. And he said, I love you back. I don't know how he said that. Baritone! God damn it, voice. He's the same black man that could stand up at the church shooting in South Carolina and say, oh, good old Southern him. Is the way my father taught us our communication style and socializing open doors, communication. authentic communication. Each one of us should have friends from all walks of life. If your morals, your values, your foundation is solid, I don't have nothing against gay folks. I grew up with them. They admire black women. So this division comes from folks in the closet, in my motherfucking opinion. The folks I hung out with were not in the closet and admired the fuck out of black women and protected us if they knew a man was had his true identity passing. I call it passing by day and at night getting sucked off by my friend Tyrone. Who you gonna motherfucking call? Oh, don't you motherfucking call Tyrone. Okay. I had a mesmerized. Do you hear me? All right. So that was a little ramble. Ty is dead. I know. Tyrone. I call him Ty. Miami. You all see my pictures of Miami. I was with Tyrone. Yeah. Yeah. So, Quarter Lab. I didn't know anything about Quarter Lab. This is a multi-million-dollar company that I don't know. Y'all can go Google it. A lot of folks from the entertainment, it ain't just no fucking YouTube, use Quarter Lab. You know, this wasn't no social media company. This is a company like a, copyright and firm, and you know how they keep from getting copyrighted and keeping your content yours, whether it was on a public platform or not. Only, rich people know about these type people. I didn't know nothing about them. But let me tell you something, Mr. Arenas. When you say queen through strikes, let me tell you what strikes. Because you said strikes wasn't going on before Kwame came to YouTube. Kwame is not my motherfucking husband, my daddy, my brother, none of that. To Queen. I was working for him as his administrator for his channel. And I don't give a damn who he connects with. But ain't nobody gonna cuss me out. Okay? Nobody. So I mentioned Skinny the Don. Queen struck down Skinny the Don on her own. Had nothing to do with no YouTube shit. In taking the position for Kwame, I came to the table with knowledge, legal knowledge, business knowledge. And I came to the stage understanding black men don't cuss at no black Southern woman. Elderly woman, no, this is something different here. I don't give a damn how long they had been on YouTube. Amen. You are talking locker room talk when you talk like that, Gilbert, in my motherfucking opinion. This is a public platform. Millions, billions of people thrown together. The platform already had rules. I made them follow their motherfucking rules. I am in a protected class. You will protect me from this manner of bullying and harassment. I'm 60. So no, this one had nothing to do with Quarter Lab. This had to do with that manosphere red pill shit. Men cussing out black women on social media for coins, clicks, and motherfucking views. So my story on strikes is separate from Kwame Brown's story. When you say he brought it here, he started it. I don't know nothing about that. I know as his administrator, and I didn't give a fuck who sat on his stage. I don't need my ass kissed, but you will respect the position. I am not on the stage for back and forth and fake and phony outrage and beef. Ain't nobody gonna cuss Queen. Period. Any profit from it? Hell to the motherfucking no. Hell to the motherfucking no. I don't need men on social media. I'm a protected class, and I'm going to demand that protection. That's where I come from. For men who act like they don't lost their mind when speaking to the American born black businesswoman. None of y'all motherfuckers would have talked to a white trailer trash woman the way you attempted to talk to Queen. So no, I ain't just got like this. I've been like this. I sacrificed too much. And when men were men, this wasn't tolerated. So I went to the company. Take care of your issue. Follow your company policies. So that's how it was with me. And I struck down Skinny. I sure did. I sure did. He woke up. Well, he didn't even know. Because everybody know everything is on my, I ain't had no community posting. I might have said it or whatever. All I know, whatever I did was never in secret when it's Queen and Queen alone. I stand on everything I've said and done on this motherfucker. Don't motherfucking play with Queen. I will lock your ass up. Period. And if any black man, like I said, want to go and do Fed time, and there is no murder one or RICO on the chessboard. Any man that wants to lose thousands and millions of dollars fucking with Queen, then we gonna two-step. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Any man I'm not fucking, and he not paying my motherfucking bills, can't say a motherfucking thing. A motherfucking thing to Queen. Period. So I don't want to hear this. That's why people should not tell other people's story. I will lock your ass up, not just no fucking strike. I will have your ass locked up. Okay? And Gilbert Arenas, Skinny, the Don, could be in prison right now. He knows it. And I know it. And we have made amends after Don D's presence on the stage, obnoxious, clearly teeth issues, teeth fetishes. Don't fucking play with me. And he always wants to say, I'm not dark, I'm not dark, you're in the fucking closet. You worse than dark. You are set in your head, and everybody know it, nigga. The evolution of YouTube is what scooped these motherfuckers up and scooped them out. Period. You said it yourself. YouTube is trying to become a network, individual TV networks, all of us. The FCC has rules of engagement. Media with the public and the public with the media. Free media. Come on with me now. I come to the stage understanding video evidence. Nothing can beat that in a court of law. Civil or criminal. Even a poor man should know this and engage with this type of knowledge. I don't give a damn if disrespecting black women is making you money. Is it making you money today? I'm a long run business strategist. Okay? You overwhelm the system. When we came here in the numbers that we came, this type of domestic violence and domestic terrorism, these were all Chudley Billows. Gilbert, don't fucking play with me. Black Chudley Billows on this motherfucker, wreaking havoc in a place that's evolving to give us all a voice and a stage, a channel, TV channel, to tell our stories. And ignorance stepped up, like it always does. The Napoleon, and like I said, these were poor men, but the Napoleon complex, the ego. If it had not been for me and my son's life, a tall man would have felt small, even though we could see that he's tall. Want to fit in, little men got a group of little men slanging. Don't fucking play with Queen. Don't fucking play with Queen. Okay. So, for the record, to be clear, what I struck down had to do with Queen. I understood the business model of YouTube for working for Kwame. But when it came to my strikes, and my strikes alone were my decisions based on the chessboard rules. I believe in rules. How can we play the game if we don't follow the rules? And even with rules, there's logistical and logical ways around these rules, but it has to be legal. I've always understood that I'm a gangster. I am retired at 16. If you hide something in a book, the masses on the same chessboard will lose every time because they will not read. They sick. Hide it in a book from egos, hate, jealousy. Hide it in a book. They want it. They'll go read. You can't cuss me and win the game. I read. We're going to follow the rules of engagement. Okay? Not prison games, because I don't motherfucking play prison games. I was a correction officer. I've been taught by the best already. I know prison games, mind games. Come on with me. And anybody that's broke and barely making it should never play with anybody. On video. On video. And the reason why Skinny could be in prison, this is real. Credible threat. Skinny was so enraged. It was a public, humiliation. Sort of like what Trump is going through now. And Trump is, I'm just saying this story because it's not Skinny, but if I can get you all to understand the story. A trapped man. He's trapped from his decisions, especially his public decisions. Skinny made choices. He made choices to put my address online with a picture of me wearing a scarf and saying 10,000 to the shooter that brings me her headscarf with a hole in it. Skinny heard me tell the story. I had Skinny, y'all. Had him just like I had Tarek from that school shit he pulled. Both of these men could be in prison right now. And they ain't shot nobody. They ain't slung no drugs. They ain't broken no houses. What they couldn't understand was she's just a black woman. This ain't no crime, but yet they would never do this to white women if it's not a crime. Hmm? Don't fucking play with me. Tariq Brown, Kwame Brown, Skinny the Don, these men could be in prison today over social media. So roasting jokes, Queen. That's what I grew up on. That's how I made thousands of friendships. This, I don't know these people. And this was about money. A cheap way to make money on YouTube. And they had been doing it for years. And to apply that tactic to an American born black businesswoman was a fatal error, just like going into Iran, killing the head of the government, 80-year-old man's wisdom. We seen the man's funeral. In my lifetime, I'm 60. I've never witnessed a funeral that. I never, and you all haven't either. When something goes beyond the universe's calibration, it will reset itself. I understand that. What's coming in the next 2 weeks, you all will understand that the universe is shifting away from buffoonery. You've taken buffoonery to the workplace, buffoonery to the grocery stores, buffoonery in your local city jobs. You can't help no motherfucking body with nothing. You ain't got time. When you there 8 motherfucking hours to do a job. That work ethic was the first sign, especially for black people. You can't show up on time. You half-ass do what you paid to do. You're gossiping about your employer, your employees, your co-workers. When I started to see this in mass, I already knew this ain't gonna last. This ain't gonna last, no. There's no foundation for it to last. Well, forget so here's the motherfucker. So again, this is a man thing in my opinion, Gilbert. I had nothing to do with the quarter lab decisions. My strikes that I threw in my name, it's all written. You have to write something. My words clear. And even in the Skinny debacle, I couldn't take Skinny down without taking Kwame down. They was attached. I can't get Skinny without getting Kwame. Kwame was at Skinny's nightly shows. While this man is going ham on his administrator, Queen, Miss Bryant. It created a hostile working environment. Hostile working environments are illegal. Okay? I can't help folks who took different routes than Queen. But the rules are the same because they did not do this with white women. So they clearly understood the rules. They just didn't think they applied to black women. And they were temporarily rewarded for it monetarily. You get in, you get out. You don't stay too long at the dance. So Skinny's threat was a real threat, Gilbert. And when I took it to the sheriff's office, I never forget these two white cops. They jumped up. They was like, "Oh, you got his name, address. We can have him today." Oh no, this is a threat. I didn't need nothing else, none of that. I had him on video. And it's posting. And I didn't know about this post until him and TY had fell out. And there was this troll page that posted this type shit up over the wire. Skinny was good as gone. Good as gone. But I looked in the face of cops. They weren't trying to protect me. They wanted to rope up a black man. And they had him good to rights. They had him. I wouldn't give them the Skinny's name. And by this time, this is after South Carolina. The court cases there that Sister T and I went to. The biggest snake of them all is Sister T. I told y'all what she did in court. She left out. Met Skinny on the sidewalk. They're trying, she can have a good old time. I filed everything in my memory bank. What Skinny had done to Queen, and he could have done it before and all that. Oh no, I don't know. But it was truly becoming a RICO crime based on what Skinny was posting. You cannot threaten or put a murder for hire online and say, "I'm just playing, I'm joking." We know Skinny wasn't joking, just like Kwame knows that bounty is put on his channel. These are not people that think well. And they worship these people, Skinny and beyond. So you know it's tenfold with the celebrities that's come to YouTube. Look at Adrian Bronner. Bye bye. Keep bringing that slop, and the outcome will continue to be the same. You're going to go back underground for those type shows, back in the dungeon where you come from. And what came out of the Atlanta's dungeon, it may be different, but it's not disrespecting black men. People being different are different. They're able to express that. I had different high school friends, and we loved each other. I had different military friends, and we loved each other still today. So, of course, my lovers and friends, oh, took them on a ride for their lives. There's very few men today that will encounter a black woman such as Queen. And I understand that. I intimidate most men, rich and poor. That's why I can stand, come to the stage and shoot my motherfucking shot at the daddy of Giving Arenas. I know who the fuck I am. Okay. Caught his attention. This man showed up on Suge's stage crying about Queen. What Queen said, what Queen. And all I did, and I, updated my thinking, but Gilbert going to Vlad and speaking down on his motherfucking mama. Couldn't deal with that. And he would never have known he's removed from everyday hard-working black women in the struggle. Mamas doing the best we can. And having a black mama who makes the decision that he's better without me than with me. Because we all got hands. That rocks to the right on. That kind of mama. That is the ultimate love for a son. After listening to Gilbert's story, when he was on the stage with Sister T and I, because my gripe was with the daddy and his decision making. And him not telling his son his mama's name. This ain't no rich thing. What was he afraid of? That he might love her? If he knew her. We won't know. And these are stories. Gilbert on his couch, the arena, when he tells this love story about his mom, he will go viral. He'll stay viral. He will capture the hearts and minds of mothers of all cultures. We've had to make decisions. We've had to make decisions. There's an old book, Being a Black Mom in America. In my book, she can do no wrong. And I'm not saying she's never earthly wrong. I'm not saying that. Let those who have ears hear the hand thereof, the cradle. She's irreplaceable. She's irreplaceable. No matter what her lifestyle is, she is still honored. And just because you push most of our community on crack cocaine, you will not disrespect her from what you pushed on. Okay? Just like your widow ass tried to push disrespect of elderly black women. You pushed it for 5 years and look at you. The universe will recalibrate itself. It's just like the human body in its homeostasis. If it swings left, swings right, we're going to bring you back to your equilibrium. And y'all know, Queen, the scales. The scales, let's put this on the left side. Let's put this on the right side. The numbers. What do the numbers say? How many successful YouTubers came from App Sector? How many? We know the numbers. Anybody thinking 1,000 views and 1,000 to 1,500 subscribers, and I'm now monetized. You can't make it on YouTube, social media with that. Not as a business plan, business model. To arrive at a Casanat DDG show TV status. Using social media as a way out. A legal way out. I don't understand men who have legal pathways. We'll take the trap door. Who would understand Skinny being in prison right now? You always said it was over words. Those words on that internet, he could be in prison right now today, criminally. They were death threats. Credible. There would not have been a defense for what Skinny was doing in court. And he's a black man with a history of prison. He was good as gone, y'all. If I would have gave up his name. Y'all know I had his address. Had everything I needed to know. These was white Southern cops. This was after George Floyd. This was after the young man at the Wendy's, one street light from me, shot in the back because he fell asleep in his car. Old ghetto ass person at the window called the police. Why are you calling the police instead of having a man approach the man from the store? You okay? You all right? You need to call somebody? She called the police. Was she trying to go viral? We don't know, because that is not the pathway most black women take at their job. They cover. He was asleep. He wasn't a threat. Rayshard Brooks. But again, the universe will recalibrate itself. Our mayor at the time, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, she fired the 2 officers involved. The man was shot in the back. There was other bystanders in the drive-through line. They hit others' cars. I think a little girl sitting in her daddy's truck. So y'all know Wendy's when you got the munchies, they open all the things open late at night. Man, they stopped that shit after that. Matter of fact, that particular Wendy's still shut. But even the late night, but you know, when we would go to Whataburger and all of that stuff after the club and stuff growing up in high school, we was out by ourselves among the community. From the Whataburger to the folks, the DJs at the club, everybody, there was a wall of protection around us. Rayshard Brooks was not protected. That's when I knew something was amiss. Even the young black woman picking up the phone, calling the police. She had no communication skills. She had no foundation to call your supervisor. Who is in this restaurant with wisdom that can go out there and talk to a man that fell asleep in a drive-thru who had been drinking? So calling the police, he's going to get a DUI, and perhaps he couldn't afford a DUI with a new job or something. He needed a license now. But it's not for us to go to. The police is not here for you, black girl. At the Wendy's, he was no threat. The black girl on the taking the order was a threat, in my opinion. Want to be seen. Want to be loud. Because we something else. When we want attention, we'll do anything for it. The man falling asleep in the drive-thru, shot in the back. Keisha quit her job as well. And black women will not quit us. She quit after her authority was overruled in the firing of those two cops. The shooter, the judge, the victim, was placed back on the job with benefits. Keisha resigned. She chose not to run. And she will be Georgia's first black governor. Do you hear me, woman? Keisha Lance Bottoms. See, there should always be what is the recalibration story? How did the universe respond to the unjust? See, Keisha's a real politician, just like Mondami in New York, just like Queen. When I ran for office in Augusta, Georgia, politics for some is for the people, by the people, not the rich and insane playboys of Epstein Island. Don't fucking play with Queen. There's different layers to this thing called life after bondage. Some has taken on the mantle of the master who whipped the slaves, raped the slaves, mutilated the slaves, hung the slaves. You know how these folks treat their dogs, okay? And that is why there's nothing to be upset about that I am a citizen by birth. Me and my kids ain't got to be worried about being rounded up and hauled off no motherfucking well. I can run for office. Listen. When I get grants, when I got that $50,000 to pay for my mortgage after this nigga here, and I get into that, are you a U.S. citizen? All the applications ask that. They don't ask black or white no motherfucking more. Because that was a phony test. Color of skin. Blood is red. A black man can look white, y'all. And a black man who looks black can be a Jamaican, an African, a Haitian. And even these people from these different lands bought into the lies. Jamaicans joined Skinny Little. Okay? A self-loathing, a self-hatred about the descendants of slaves. They look at it as some kind of badge of honor. We are naturalized citizens. And that's why as taxpayers and citizens, we had to teach you not to vote. We had to hide it in a book the importance of voting. This, what we are about to go through in the next 2 weeks, beginning then, and we have no idea when this suffering will end. Related to this unlawful war. And most black folks will get through it with a smile, still laughing and joking and dancing and singing. The way we and eating good Southern food, the way we get through it every obstacle thrown our way. The survival of slaves, the descendants. That's that piece there that angers. They're never destroyed, no matter how bad we're treated. And blacks took on this same mistreatment for pennies. I'm still standing. And that is my input to the Porter Lab piece of what was being spewed out yesterday without context. Quarter Lab is a multi-billion-dollar corporation ran about by 4 or 5 men of non, African descent or color, none of that. We know who they are. That's who he hired. And it's a 9 to 5 company making all that money. It don't work 24 hours. And Quarter Lab does not get timestamps. You gotta have a timestamp to throw a flag. You can put it in, but if it's disputed, he didn't write the disputes, the counterclaims. Quarter Lab didn't do that. Quarter Lab didn't catch your timestamps, which was on the, online reporting, what you had to fill out. It didn't work 9 to 5. Most of the strikes was coming in on the weekends and after hours. Y'all know when y'all like to play and go dark. Quarter Lab didn't write counterclaims. Quarter Lab couldn't counter a bully and harassment. Was only there for copyright issue from 9 to 5. Limited scope for all that money. So you still need to have an in-house person to feed the timestamps to Quarter Lab. That was my role. I didn't throw shit for Kwame. And after, before, during Quarter Labs, I provided the timestamps, okay, of what Quarter Lab was already out for. And that was way after he implemented Quarter Lab. I was just on the scene where, the people kept contacting when they would get one, which he did say, if you get one, call me, we'll remove it. I didn't get any calls. They were still hung up on this skinny drama. So they kept trying to go around Queen. You can go around me all you want to. If you want this strike lifted off your page, it was made in error, double speak after a whole year. You had to provide me with your email. That this is what Quarter Lab, these was the rules of engagement. Me requesting the same thing as a multi-million-dollar company ran by 4 or 5 white men and the other company. Because those J people look white. Passing. That's why they big problem they going on now. I am black by look, by blood. I'm an American-born black businesswoman. There's no way around the descendants of slave position in the matter. I don't care how you came here. You didn't come here the way my ancestors came here. So you don't get to shit on our story of survival. And we remain humble from the South Georgia. Humble ground, Georgia. Georgia, motherfuckers. Peach. So no one speaks for Queen while I'm still living and got breath in my body. Y'all get ready for Governor Keisha Lance Bottom, Rashard Brooks' family. She'll tell yourself she never forgot his family. Come on, Belinda. Come on, Belinda. I yield the floor. I yield the floor. My darlings. And I know I was all over the place. That's how I teach. That's how I tell my stories. For the ones that know. This is how you use a third eye. Okay? The evidence is clear. Who has a third eye and who is just blind? Okay. I hit the floor. The hell and the high water. Let's do step. Let's do step. Let's do step.
There she was. She'd been there all the time. I'd been too busy making faces so folks would like me. I'd never seen her. There she was.
And I yield the floor. My darlings, I yield the floor. Checkmate.